Hey, Bruce Naylor, your boomer consumer. Welcome to Coffee Break. I haven't done one of these in a very long time, and I've been looking forward to bringing them back on a regular basis. And so I'm going to try to have a new episode every Friday. What is Coffee Break? It is a tech vlog. We talk about technology and improving your life with technology, and from the perspective of somebody that's been around this stuff for many, many, many years. Now, I don't always get into the latest, greatest trends just for the sake of doing so, but rather, and I think I can speak for many baby boomers when I say that, we tend to look at technology a bit differently. We're looking at it more as a tool to get certain things done as opposed to maybe a hobby. Now, some of us, yes, is a hobby, but getting the right tool for the right job and being more pragmatic about the purchase of technology so that, we invest in something that we know is going to retain its ability to get the job done for a long haul. I'll give you an example. My 2009 Mac Pro was ridiculously expensive, even used. And yet it's still working 10 years later. I've got a family member that uses it every day. So in that instance, that machine was bought with the idea of longevity and to do particular things. And it has panned out very, very well. Maybe I'm not exactly into some real flash in the pan type of stuff, but boomers tend to look at things, I think, a little bit more pragmatically, how we spend our money on technology and what it can actually do to make our lives better. And I think that's the slant that I use when I'm looking at technology, and that's what I want to share with you in these videos. So let's talk about the new Mac Pro. Some of you are going to say, Bruce, you're awful late to the game. There's been thousands of videos made. Reviewers from all over the world have put their 2 cents in about it. What can you bring to the table that hasn't already been said? Let me just put it to you this way. First, I wanted to listen to all these reviewers myself and get their take, and just read everything I can on it and then understand it. And then, okay, how would this fit in with my way of thinking? So let me share this with you. I have purchased a Mac Pro. It was a 2009. I bought it slightly, gently used. And 10 years later, it's still in operation. Now, I'm not using it personally, but a relative of the family is, and it still works every day. That machine was bought with the idea of longevity in mind, and it fulfilled its mission. Okay, so come forward 10 years later, the introduction of the 2019 Mac Pro, because this is something that has had Mac users waiting desperately since the introduction of the 2013 trash can Mac Pro, which admittedly Apple made a mistake. They screwed up on the thing, and they admitted that. All right. Now then, the new Mac Pro, if you listen to other reviewers, falls into two camps. Camp one says it's ridiculously overpriced. For $6,000, you can get, which is the base model, by the way, you can get so much more power in the PC world. It's just obscene. They're also angry that YouTube abandoned, or not YouTube, but Apple abandoned them in the pursuit of a high-performance computer. The other camp says, no, you misunderstand. The Mac Pro is designed for companies that have deep pockets. They have serious, they're producing blockbuster movies. They're working with audio with hundreds of tracks. It's a huge productivity tool and not priced for people making like YouTube videos and that type of thing. It's not the market that Apple is trying to appeal to. Now, I tend to fall into that camp. Look, when the IBM PC originally came out, adjusted for inflation, it was around $5,000. Very hard for most of us to afford something like that. And let's not even get started on the price of software. If anybody out there remembers companies such as Ashton Tate and the people that made DBase, etc. Lotus 1-2-3, Lotus Symphony. You remember what that software cost? It was obscene. Literally, it could cost tens of thousands of dollars by the time you were done buying your first IBM PC. Okay, but it was modular, and it was standardized, and it led to where we're at today. I mean, you have to begin somewhere. And I think with the new Mac Pro, Apple is taking that direction. Look, the bottom line is that I don't believe, but very few people are actually going to buy the base model. The real value will probably be in that 12 to 16 core version, much larger hard drive with the Vega Pro 2 graphics cards, probably the dual graphics cards. The MPX, which is a cool expansion system, which you can have up to 4 GPUs on there. This is going to be for the very well moneyed creators out there where time is money, and these machines will be able to pay for themselves in a look. I'll tell you, as a business owner, when you buy gear, you look at one thing: return on investment. That's the first thing you look at. If I put out $6,000, $10,000, $20,000, $40,000 on a piece of equipment, how much money will I make off of that equipment? Okay. What we don't necessarily put at the very top is, is it the latest, greatest, or does it have some features that maybe we can use, maybe we won't. Are we willing to pay for that? Can we upgrade it? Is it a good base in which to build from? Those are the things we look at from a business perspective. But first and foremost, return on investment. And I haven't heard too many tech reviewers talk about those terms. And the company's willing to shell out tens of thousands of dollars on these machines because ultimately I'm seeing, and we really don't know. We have not seen the final pricing for the fully spec'd out Mac Pro, but I'm seeing figures 35,000, 50,000, 70,000. I don't know. But I guarantee you one thing: the companies that spend that amount of money, they plan on making it back, and they plan on making it back in pretty short order if they do. And when you start talking a machine with 28 cores, 1.5 terabytes of memory, yeah, this thing, 4 graphics cards, these things should be able to pump out a lot of horsepower and plow through some big tough jobs that could cause lesser machines to stumble. Can it be done in the PC world? Absolutely. Believe me, there's Windows PC and I should say Windows workstations out there. Well, I just seen a video the other day on one. I think it was $75,000. When you get in this super pro world and the business world, we look at things a little bit differently. We're not looking to try to get maximum horsepower at the rock bottom price. What we want is dependability, return on investment, and the ability to upgrade and get a long, long, long life out of the machine. And I think the Mac Pro nails it for that. Is it for us YouTubers and so forth? No. Of course not. And unfortunately, many of them are disappointed. Well, no, it's just not there. That mark is not there. Apple already has products for you. The iMac Pro is the product for you. I get by with the new Mac Mini, and it's doing what I need it to do. But yeah, these Mac Pros are definitely not for 99% of us out there. It's more of a business class computer for people that actually pay their mortgages from the work they do in the creative space. I'm sure also will be just fine in the CAD/CAM world, engineering, etc. But bottom line is, from a boomer's perspective, for some, because this is going to be a low volume product, okay? It's not like Apple's going to crank out millions of these things. But for some of us, these machines will be an absolute sound investment that will make their companies a tremendous amount of money and last for a long, long time. That's my perspective on the whole thing. Personally, beautiful machine. I like the looks of it. It does remind me of my 2009 Mac Pro. It weighs almost 40 pounds, so it's a solid machine. Love it or hate it, it is what it is, and Apple is addressing a very certain market. Yes, they're going to get their money back on the R&D on this thing, but it's the kind of machine a company or a very serious professional can grow with for a long time to come. That's my take. Thanks so much for watching. I look forward to your comments down below. Bruce Naylor, the Boomer Consumer. Until the next one.